I'm looking at over here. So we would like to thank our sponsors. That's Monroe's Business Solutions. Thank you. And Aldea Skincare. Thank you so much for helping us out. And of course, I would like to call our lovely Carlota Serenas, our member. You know she's a member because she's in pink. So she's going to do the invocation for us this afternoon.
Yeah. So nice to be here. Welcome. So we are going to pray together. Dear God, we thank you for such an amazing gathering this afternoon. We are blessed to be surrounded by beautiful, inspiring, empowering people. Please give us the wisdom to learn and help each other grow as we hear from wonderful speakers, as we mingle with new and familiar friends, enjoy our tea party, and also honor you. We pray for your bountiful love today and always. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Carlota. And so right now, I would like to introduce you. So if you had met me before, I am the past president. My name is Annie Nepomuceno. But now we have a new present president, which is past president, present president. So I would like to introduce to you our lovely Lois P. Claybeard to give our welcome remarks.
Thank you to our former president, Annie Nepomuceno. Yes, pink is the color of the day because it's all about women empowerment, and women empowerment for some reason is like pink. So we're owning pink today, and it's okay. And would like to thank our brothers, our allies who are here today. So thank you so much. We would not be here if not for the support of our allies. So welcome again to the Teas and Treasures Women Empowerment event, and we really brought this together, like a different day, a different time, a different venue, different part of the town, so that we can expand our network, so we can grow, create awareness for our community that we exist and we're here to support. And again, you know, we are very proud to say that this event is in partnership with National ACE. So National ACE supports AAPI businesses, and we are very, very excited that we will be launching. Today is the first entrepreneurship bootcamp series. Yeah. And you know, this will be funded by National ACE, and we're so happy because we're doing this work anyways. And we wanted to do it in a bigger scale, but we cannot because, you know, we need funding for that. Finally, our prayers have been answered, so we could not be more happy because of this. And also, you know, because obviously you see there's a lot of women leaders at our chamber. So we've been planning, this is like a taste test for a women's conference that we're putting together. For next year, we have more Filipino-American authors and known professionals that we will bring all together, business owners. So watch out for that. And again, enjoy the food, enjoy the company, mingle, and we'd love to see you guys again. And thank you again for joining us today at Chado Tea Room. And back to our former president, Ms. Annie Nepomuceno.
Thank you so much, Lois. So, you know, you keep calling me the past president, but the correct term is pandemic president. Okay, so I was stuck with that. No, but really, we did the best that we could during the pandemic, and I think actually it was a blessing in disguise. Or you know, but that's the Filipino out, right? We're gonna figure out what we're going to do. So that's why I will just echo what Lois said, that you know we're really excited to go other places now because we've been doing everything virtually. And I have to say that our speakers today, they actually were able to connect with our chamber even during the pandemic. So I'm really thrilled that we will be hearing from them today after, of course, we get to serve the wonderful food from the lovely Chado Tea Room. Thank you so much for having us here. They're somewhere there, okay? So so later on, I'm so excited that we're going to be hearing from Dr. Fatima Bustos Choi over here. And of course, the lovely Ms. Kalika Yap, our authors for this afternoon. And I am looking forward to the women's conference. Guys, you better step it up. Okay, so I think our Vice President for Membership, Mr. David Baines, is paying attention. Okay, so thank you. Please enjoy the afternoon, and we will be back with you in just after a few minutes. Thank you.
That's my job, to make you guys cool.
Yeah, what's
Here they are, ladies and gentlemen, Taco Hero Pasadena.
And I also wanted to acknowledge real quick the board members and the officers of the chamber while, we're serving this delicious food. So I am the president of the chamber, and our VP for marketing, Ms. Celeste Mondarin, who's here today. Our VP for membership, David Baines. Our secretary, Ms. Fiji Victoriano. On our VP for events, and our treasurer, Henry Chen, could not make it tonight, but they said hi. And then the rest of our board members, Ms. Gemma Bergstrom, Rosalind Arshaga, right there. And our other board members, Joseph Sarmiento, Kathy Current, Linus Ebe, Reggie Babasa Thompson, and Vivian Lim also sends their regards. And I also wanted to say a quick plug about National ACE, who they are, and AAPI Strong. Who has heard hashtag AAPI Strong? Okay, by the end of this event, we all should know hashtag AAPI Strong. So National ACE advances Asian American and Pacific Islander business owners, one voice for the Asian American and Pacific Islander AAPI business community, building capacity and fostering economic development through advocacy partnerships and programs. AAPI Strong, together with their corporate and nonprofit partners, which is us, the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce Greater LA, are standing up against racial bias, discrimination, and fear that has plagued our AAPI communities. National ACE is focused on combating the nationwide rise on AAPI bias, harassment, and violence in our small business community across the country. So this is very important. I know we're getting excited with the food here, but it's a very important issue for all of us. And that's why we're creating this awareness about hashtag AAPI Strong. So I don't want to take much time for you, but enjoy the teas and scones, and bon appetit.
Thank you. So pretty. Here you go. Yep. Hi.
Okay, yes. I'll ask them to take our folder.
Which one did you try, Tita? Oh, this is my friend Rose. Hi, Rose. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Oh. I'm gonna pause. I have to.
The CEO of Montrose Business Solutions, ladies and gentlemen. So let's Rose moderate.
Thank you, everyone. I feel like this is my party and I invited all my girlfriends. Because most of them here are like all my friends. But thank you for the support. Yes, I'm the CEO of Montrose Business Solutions, and I actually have most of my clients here, and that's why I love the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce. David, Sandra, of course, Annie. And then I'm hoping that everybody is enjoying their time right here. So Monroe's Business Solution is basically a provider of professional virtual executive assistants. We call them VEA. If you have a VEA, you're good. What they do is they help you leverage your time so you can really focus on what's important to your business. So you don't have to worry about cleaning your email, getting back to somebody with a phone call, or those stuff, or a flyer, or maybe even a logo. They can be very creative, and they can be able to figure things out for you. Yes. So we normally start with the price range of $8 per hour. Way more cost effective than actually hiring a secretary here in the US with a minimum wage of how much? Exactly.
Probably 16.
And not only that, we're able to give back to our homeland, Philippines, by providing opportunities to our kababayans there. So that's basically our main focus, to provide opportunities to especially women and mothers there in the Philippines who are really struggling to find employment, and also help the entrepreneurs here do what they need to do, which is shine. So they do work at home, and some of them do actually have an office. We have a central office in the Philippines in Cavite. So they're very well trained there and equipped in any different scenarios. But most of my VAs are focused on employing especially single moms in the Philippines, moms that have very limited way of moving around, especially during the pandemic. So that's what I do. So thank you for asking. So if you need a VA, just let me know. I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, lovely. So that's Rose Monterian, who is also our Vice President for Marketing. And now I just need this too loud. Hold on. Okay, so next, of course, we have the lovely Aldea India, who has a skincare business, and she is. I'm so proud that she sponsored right away because, of course, if you look like that, why would you not be one to be seen, right? Okay, return my dress afterwards.
Hi everyone, my name is Aldea and I'm a licensed esthetician. So if you guys are looking for someone to take care of your skin, and if you want to, have a glow skin, just call me. So I just wrote down here everything I want to say because I just came back from Israel, and I think I still have jet lag. I came back like 2 days ago. So I'm the owner and founder of Aldea Skin. So I want to introduce the oxygenator. What is oxygenator? It's technology made from Israel. And I use it to Celeste already and Rose. And I am 100% sure that they really like it. And it really works, right? And this is a unique 3-in-1 treatment of exfoliation, infusion, and oxygenation via the and tripolar. So these also have the radio frequency for skin rejuvenation. what it does. So I'm not sure if you can see, but I will show you this.
It's probably very,
Yeah,
it's
this-
hard.
It's hard.
Oh,
Okay, it's fine. So
Well, they should try it. That's what.
yeah, so
we should
it
just try
has really for anti-aging, especially for acne, and especially right now, it's really, really hot. It's summer. So everything is getting really dry and getting really like flaky. And we don't know that even we think that we have good skin. It's not. Because if you think you have good skin, you should come see me and I will tell you if you have good skin. I can see it through the, Fitzpatrick and my magic light. So yeah, I would definitely want to see you guys if you want to get your facials done.
Where are you at?
I am located in the Tarzan. Yeah. Yeah, also do a home service if you guys cannot come to my clinic. So it's very very convenient.
How many times do you do it? Like the process is it like 1 time, 2 times?
For anti-aging, I would definitely suggest only once a month. But if it's acne clients, you should see me every week because we need to treat it, Yeah,
So once a month.
once a month, and it will cost like from 120 to 300. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
So I guess I'm once a month. It's not acne, but anti-aging.
Anti-aging. Yes.
Thank you so much, Albea. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to introduce one of our speakers, this lovely lady here on the poster. But you don't have to look at the poster for long. It's actually right here. Dr. Fatima Bustos Choi is a recognized transformational holistic life coach, consultant, speaker, and trainer who is dedicated to helping others integrate their physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being into one consistent journey towards health, happiness, and lasting peace. Dr. Bustos Choi is the founder and principal of R&F Holistic Services and Gaia Flow Consulting, helps people to pursue and find a holistic and meaningful lifestyle. Dr. Bustos Choi believes that caring for the spirit, the heart, the mind, and body is key to create and achieve personal and professional goals. Don't we have all of that? As a life coach, Dr. Bustos Choi shares lessons learned from several decades of experience in her own journey toward wholeness and fulfillment. She is a speaker. Her new book, More Than Money, 5 Paths to Abundance and Success for Inner-Centered Entrepreneurs, is available on Amazon, and I believe it was #1 in the self-help section, wasn't it? So, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you in person Dr. Fatima Bustos Choi. Okay, so we'll have also our questions. Yeah, but for now, you're gonna tell us like a whole lot of things. Okay.
First, thank you, Annie, for that kind introduction. I'd like to, first of all, welcome you all. I'm Dr. Fatima Bustos Choi.
She might need. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. And I would like to express my deep gratitude to FACCGLA for this wonderful time that we had together. Thank you to Madam President Lois Claiborne. And pandemic president. I was on your board though. Okay. I was on your board during the pandemic. And I see our board members, Roslyn, Gemma, and former board member also. Uh, so it's so great to see you again. And thank you too to Mr. David Baines. And, and thank you for Mr. Ernesto, who's our ally supporter, and to many of you who helped with making More Than Money an Amazon bestseller. So I'm grateful for that. Briefly though, would just like to share my origin story or my story because it informs so much about the book. And if I may, benefits of the book to the reader. So I'd like to say that, is that okay, Christy? All right. So I'm the firstborn of 5 children, and as such, I had this inherent sense that I was supposed to do everything that my parents told me to do. Bottom line, that my role in life was to make my parents happy and be proud of me. And also because I'm the firstborn, that there was this unspoken rule that I would be the role model for the whole family, right? For my brothers and sisters. That's a pretty tall order. I don't know what you think, but I sort of took that on and felt like I lived my life, throughout my life, lived my life, more I have to be the best for mom and dad. And of course, for them too, they kind of put me on this pedestal, so it was a lot of work staying up there. And the other thing is that also, I came to the US right after graduating from college, but as the firstborn of 5 children, I immediately took on this duty, if you will. So I lived my life with this energy of obligation and duty. And I remember at a very young age, I would gather my siblings, collect money from them, by the way. They always tell me that, okay, do you remember? And I would collect whatever allowances they have so that we could buy my mom and dad presents for their birthdays, for the holidays. And one of my sisters said that their training was not necessarily from my mom, but from me. Because I kept them in shape. Nobody could leave the house unless they cleaned their room and all of that. But then I came to the US right after I went to college, taught back in the province, and came to the US for that one goal, like most of us here as Filipinos, is to give our families a better life. So I had that same goal. And, my parents did come here, they didn't stay, they loved the Philippines more. So I was a little heartbroken, but I understood. At any rate, I climbed the corporate ladder. By then, oh yeah, that's the other thing. So I married a white person, and a white man. He has since passed on, but so we have, I have one son, and 9 years after our marriage, we got divorced. So the divorce was the very first fall from grace, so to speak, in my family. It was very hard for me to tell my parents about that because I know that they had expected me to, to be married. But actually, that was just my own. I just put that on myself because they were actually so understanding and so compassionate and so supportive. So at any rate, then I was in the corporate world for many years, my very first job, I was interviewed as a loan interviewer, and the hiring manager said, "I'm sorry, but I cannot hire you." And I said, "Can I ask why?" And he said, "Yes, because of your accent." And I said, "Accent?" I was just so naive. "Accent?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Sir," those days when we call people sir, "Sir, do you understand me?" And he said, "Yes." "And sir, I understand you too. So what is the problem?" And he couldn't answer it. He couldn't answer it. Anyway, he brought two other managers. I followed them to an office. They interviewed me, and we came out, and I was hired. So, I always say that story because it's a defining moment for me. And then I was here by myself. I didn't know how to drive. I rented a studio close to the office at a credit union so I could walk to work. One day I was walking to work and I hear this beep, 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 and beep, 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 beep. And I turned around and it was Mr. Barley, the one who didn't want to hire me. So he said, "Hey, Fatima, do you want to ride to the office?" And I looked at him and I said, "Oh, thank you, Mr. Barley. No, my mom said I shouldn't ride with strangers." Honestly, to this day, I can still picture him. He was beet red, He was Irish and he had this cherub face that, like, he couldn't believe what I said. But I was really like innocent. I just really, my mom said. Anyway, so I want to kind of put this to like tie this ribbon. And the reason I share this with you is that for the longest time, I lived my life for other people. So my mom and dad, the extension of mom and dad, making them proud, was my husband, especially because he was, of course, in the corporate America. And I realized that I wasn't living for me. I wasn't living for my true self. I was living for other people. And it is with that spirit and recognition and realization that I wrote More Than Money. Because so many business people and so many career people are struggling with the demands, right, of work, the demands of the business, demands of everything, to the point that, who are you? Those were my questions for myself. And then, of course, there was another crisis in my life that really made me stop. Who am I? Who am I? And what, how do I really want to live my life? And will I continue to be doing this, to keep staying on that pedestal and trying to be perfect or trying to be everything, everyone but me? It sounds so selfish, but actually I don't think it is. I think that knowing and owning who we truly are instead of the persona that I know I created so that I can be accepted and be somebody that they're proud of, that was a persona that I created. And I, came to realize that even with all the accomplishments, I will humbly say, being a director for Citibank, and then having, being a consultant to CEOs and managers and so forth, honestly, there was this deep, deep emptiness in my heart. It just felt so hollow. And actually, I left City because I felt my soul was dying. So even with all the perks, it was not enough. That wasn't. It was more than money. I think that's where actually the title of the book came from Miss Celeste. So in my interview, so I want to just say that much of what's in the book is about my life and my life of recognizing where I was, how much I've lived it for other people, but that now I'm claiming it, I know it, I know who I am, and I am going to be authentic to myself, even, even when at times it causes heartaches for other people, or they don't like me because I am who I am. So I feel that that's the only way to be, at least from my own perspective. And so the book, if I may, consists of stories and stories of, I'm so grateful to Annie, who is in the book, and Celeste, who's in the book, and we have some other chamber members who are in the book, but it's based on people's real stories and lessons that they have learned, that they have shared in the story. And I think Rose asked me, what's your impetus for writing the book? My impetus was my mom. She was my first teacher, and she was my first, I'm reminded of when I first attended uh, the, the chamber meeting. And I think Lois had the 30-second, the 30-second to go, oh, I gotta finish. And I almost finished. So my mom was my first teacher. She was an entrepreneur, and I think that she channeled this book actually because I had not planned on writing. So my book is 5 Paths to Abundance and Success for Inner-Centered Entrepreneurs. And the key message of the book is that just like I discovered who I truly am and owning who I am from this inner voice, and we all have that. Given so many things happening these days, what is your compass? What is your inner compass? Who do you listen to? Who guides you? Because we haven't really been trained to listen to our own true selves and our own inner voice. Um, there was an article yesterday, the great, you heard the Great Resignation, right? So the article was, the Great Resignation is now turning into the Great Regret. Yeah, exactly, because people left their jobs for something, but they didn't really check inside. Why am I leaving? And where am I going to? What is the purpose of my life? There was none of that, right? It was more, they found out the grass is not necessarily on the other side. It's actually the same, if not worse. Yes. And so what's happening is that, to me, that's kind of a sign where we're so pulled away from who we truly are. And so that's what the book is about, is that we have this inner voice and it will not betray us. And whereas all external information, so much of it is misinformation, how do you decide? Your inner voice will help you to decide what is true and good for you. However, because we haven't been trained to listen and connect with our inner voice, we don't know how to do it. And so through the book, I offer the 5 paths of the path of purpose. Who am I? Why am I really here? And the path of passion. What is it that you truly, truly love? And then the path of pain, because pain is our constant companion. And that we cannot deny it, but we need to learn how to live and listen to the messages of the pain. And then if we can transcend and go through the pain rather than over it, under it, about it, that we actually can get to the next path, which is the path of promise. And the path of promise is the legacy that we have while we're still alive that can transcend after we're gone. And then the last path is the path of possibility. And that, for entrepreneurs, my ask is to how can we create businesses that are, of course we have to make money, but businesses that are more designed for the benefit of all, for the benefit of humanity, for the benefit, of course, for us, right? We can do that. But for the benefit of all, including the planet Earth. And so those are kind of what I wanted to share about the book. There are exercises after each chapter because I, as a holistic, coach, I am very much with the use of the body. The chamber knows that. So I wanted to make sure that I included those exercises in the book. And then my last is that I am so honored to be here with you all, honored to be with Ms. Kalika Yap, and to be with such powerful women like you all are here. Let's change the world. It's not gonna, I'm sorry, and then still but partner with us rather to then let's change the world because we are the Mother Earth and we have that capacity, we have the opportunity, but most of all, we have the responsibility to do that. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fatima. So you guys, there are copies here, and after we have everyone speak, you of course have the opportunity to ask questions. So right now, I would like to introduce our next speaker. Well, I put this down first. So we have Ms. Kalika Nasholia, is a thriving serial entrepreneur whose businesses include the award-winning digital agency Citrus Studios, based in sunny Santa Monica, California. LuxLink, the ultimate handbag accessory purse hook that's responsible for keeping women's purses off the floor. You need one there, Lois? The waxing company. Who needs that? Okay. Honolulu's premier waxing salon. I guess you have to go to Honolulu, right? I guess we all need that. The Tangerine Company, which is a photo and video production studio in Orange and Bergamo. Her latest venture, for female founders. She is the host of the Wonder Podcast for the Entrepreneurs Organization. Kalika is the past president of the Entrepreneurs Organization in Los Angeles and is currently serving as the Global Communications Committee at EO. She lives with her husband and two young entrepreneurial daughters in Pacific Palisades, California. Also find more about her at kalika.com, but she's also here in person, so you can do that later. So ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Kalika Yap.
Hi everyone. I think we're going to be doing a panel discussion. She's going to be asking me some questions, but if any one of you have any questions regarding serial entrepreneurship, I have worldwide patents on the LuxLink purse hook. I own a retail store. I have an e-commerce brand.
Yeah, so
I'm an author.
yeah, like this is her book. It's a little brand book. So we had grabbed it off Amazon. I had mine signed already. Yeah, and in here she discusses some archetypes, right? Archetypes, and it is of course about branding. So can you tell us a little more about the archetypes?
Sure. So the reason why I wrote the book was whenever I met with women entrepreneurs, they really, similar to what Dr. Fatima said, no one really knew who they were. And for me, as someone who was an immigrant, who was born in Quezon City and went to Hawaii when I was 3, I was always just like, I really don't understand what's happening. I didn't really understand. So the thing that I really wanted to do was try to figure people out. So I would take all these different personality tests, like the Myers-Briggs, the Enneagram. I would take the horse cube ladder test. I don't know if you guys love personality tests because you're always trying to figure people out. And I was also trying to figure myself out. And so what I found when I took these little personality tests, the Myers-Briggs for instance, they put you into one category. And I thought to myself, well, I feel like everyone here is just a lot more nuanced than like, okay, you're just a leader or you're just a maven, which is an educator. I felt that everyone falls into 2 categories, and you have a major and a minor category. So there are 12 archetypes. there's a leader, the maven, the brilliant, the explorer, the evangelist. They're all in the book. You have to take a test and then figure out who you are. And what trying to understand who I was. You know, I had my father, who was an entrepreneur, and my mom, who was an educator. But when I was in the world, I just thought of myself as a CEO. I didn't think of myself as an educator. But something that was so not obvious to me, it was obvious to everyone else. Right? Have you ever seen that? Have you ever had like this blind spot about yourself where like everyone knows your husband's cheating? I'm joking. I mean, there's this blind aspect of who you are. And so when I realized that I also love to teach, I was doing that naturally. So before I became an entrepreneur, I was working at the Getty and I was working on, you know, I was doing digital, I was doing the websites and things like that back in 1996, 1997. But naturally, not getting paid, going outside of my responsibilities, I was teaching website courses. I was doing for free. And I just didn't know that. And now that I know that, it's something that I do a lot more now. So, and I hope that this book, you know, can give you a little bit of insight of who you are by taking the test and really understand who you are. So there are actually 144 archetypes. So there's 12 archetypes, a major and a minor, and then together they make another little baby. And so that's who I think that you are. And then once you understand who you are, it's important for you to really be who you are. So if you are loving and kind and generous and an advocate, a world changer, a brilliant navigator of numbers, then you just have to own it. And then when you own it, you can be your true authentic self. So that's really what the book is in a nutshell. And the reason, and it's just my first step, my goal is to help 1 million female founders make at least $1 million.
Here.
So that's why I wrote the book. Yeah.
So that's wonderful because I believe, Celeste, you took the test or you like, can you tell us a little bit more so Kalika can tell us what you are? Go ahead. Come over here so you can like tell us.
And the book is available on Amazon if you want to buy
Yes.
it. So you can tell I'm like a Haligaya fan, right? So I took the test online. So I got avant-garde as my archetype. Avant-garde.
Do you know the main?
I have to read. I don't remember. But the main is world changer plus original, and that gives me avant-garde online. And then I took the test in the book, which got me leaders, and gem that makes me upholder. So I'm an avant-garde upholder. So as you can see, Dr. Until to that point, I still have identity crisis. And that's where I wanted to ask my question, because as you can see, branding is very important in conveying who we want to be, who we truly are, as part of the businesses that we create and achievements. So if you have that sort of like an identity crisis, how do you maneuver that based on your experience and really be strong and rooted?
So you said world changer, and what was the other one?
World changer and
Upholder.
upholder.
Avant-garde upholder.
World changer is a main archetype. What was the second one?
Avant-garde upholder.
The upholder
first
is
one.
leader and gem.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, world changer and gem.
No.
See, even them, they're like. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but in this book, it's really like a workbook, basically, right? And then you can like search for yourself, and there's also stories there about other women.
Original.
Isn't that ironic? Original.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think that the first step is to look. The second step is to see. See with your mind's eye. Then the third step is to tell the truth.
See with your mind's eye, tell the
And
truth.
then you tell the truth, right? You tell the truth. A lot of times when people And then after you tell the truth, that's when you take authentic action. Look, see with your mind's eye, tell the truth, and then take authentic action. So when you see the results of what you're happening, what happens in your body? Like when you see yourself as coming up as a leader and someone who's also gem, which a gem is like, oh, it's just like your best friend, you know, like it's just the most lovely person. Yeah, right? Which one resonates more for you? Because really, we talked a little bit about tapping into your voice of wisdom. What this is doing is just allowing you to see. Sometimes when we take things online, you see those things on BuzzFeed, like, let's take something really quick. I want to know. Maybe it was fast, maybe it was, I don't know. But I think when you take this test, you have to be quiet. You have to center yourself. That's part of the exercise. And you take a look at all the qualities that you see. Because what you recognize in someone else is a reflection of what you see inside of you. If you cannot recognize this quality in the book, you're not going to check that off, right? So like some people may be prone to loving numbers, you know, some people may be prone to loving art, loving creativity. But you have to be the one to tell yourself, like, are you a world changer? Are you someone that really just wants to make a difference in the world? In a way, because leaders are like that, right? Because you're taking people from the Philippines and really changing their life, right? You're a world changer. And also original, right? Creativity. But usually people who are original are the ones who are like the artists, like Coco Chanel, you know, like Diane von Furstenberg, you know, conductors like Annie, you know, right, or your music, right? So those are like the original. So take a look into yourself. Take a look and take a moment to reflect. When you're seeing these results, what's resonating with you? Yeah, that's how you do it.
So we're going to have questions, so please hold on to them. I do need to ask a question right now because maybe I should address the elephant in the room because you also mentioned it, Dr. Fatima, because basically those who grew up in the Philippines, we were following our parents' ideas. And it's not the easiest thing to find out about ourselves because Kalika is also telling us the same thing, you know, like first you take the test and then you look and you to be honest with yourself. So do you have any, like, did you experience any, I will be more specific to Filipino women maybe, or immigrants. What would you advise them specifically? Let's say they're having a hard time accepting or analyzing themselves. You know, it's just not, because it's not inherent. It's not, we're not trained to think about it. What would you tell someone like that?
The question is to not be, what do you mean?
Yeah, like because like Filipinas grew up like following the parents of following the ideals of other people rather than themselves. So sometimes they find it hard to be honest with themselves. So yeah, how would you advise a person who like who has that difficulty, especially if it was part of their culture?
I think that you need to define what success really is. Do you guys know what success is? Success is doing what you say you're going to do consistently with clarity, focus, ease, and grace. That's success. People think success is graduating from Stanford, you know, with a volleyball scholarship.
It's not.
Yeah. That's momentary success. But with that definition of success, you can be successful today. Not 20 years from now, not after you get the Tesla with the leap, you know, which is nice too, you know, but just know that's the definition of success. Doing what you say you're going to do consistently with clarity, focus, ease, and grace. And then when it comes to money, success is doing what you say you're going to do with money, with clarity, right? Knowing, looking, seeing, focusing on what's important to you. Ease, taking small, sweet steps. And then grace. The gateway to grace is gratitude. Look at all these blessings that we have today. Someone had to make even the tea, right? The tea probably, you know, they're here in the wall, but someone had to grow, the tea farmer hundreds of years ago had to grow this tea, right? They had to grow this tea for us to enjoy it today. The hot water, came from the clouds, from the water. I mean, someone had to, I mean, we don't even see that. A miracle happens every single day. The water that we can enjoy right now on this hot day, you know how many people don't have water around the world? We don't, we grow up so entitled to anytime you're having a bad day, you don't even need to see that. Look at these half strawberries, like someone had to cut that, you know? The warm scones that came out, like how kind of everyone here. They had to do that, have the right timing for us to just be together. Celeste and Louis and Maurice and Annie preparing this beautiful day for us. And we show up and, you know, and are having a fun time, laughing, enjoying. But we don't. What we end up doing is having the monkey mind. Oh, I don't have that. How come this person has that? Oh, I'm so mad that that person has this. You know, it's clarity, knowing what you want, knowing your life's intentions. Focusing on that, knowing what's important to you. So for me, like before, when I really didn't understand like what my purpose is to help entrepreneurs change the world, right? So that's why I'm here. It was so easy for me to say yes to Celeste because it aligned with my purpose. I used to give money to, you know, Children's Home, which is nothing. I mean, like Children's Hospital and you know, Concern Foundation, which is like a cancer. My mom has cancer, but then I realized like I just want to focus on just entrepreneurship because if you help an entrepreneur, right, they're creating jobs, they are coming up with innovative ideas, they're giving a paycheck to people all around the world. It's really powerful. And so that's why I want to focus on that. So clarity, focus, ease. You don't have to accomplish everything today. You know, just take a deep breath. You know, all is well. You know, wrap yourself in a warm blanket of all is well. Because it is.
So yeah, you hit the nail on the head when we're thinking about I don't have this and I don't have that. And it's something also that we culturally experience. But you know, from Kalika's TikTok account, because you know we follow Celeste and I at least like follow her, because you do a lot of things that will help your well-being. Like we see you going on silent meditation, you go on hikes. So can you give us some tips, like, you know, for these tips to be like centering? Because like, if you're not centered, you can't absorb anything, right? And sometimes, honestly, I feel, I'll speak for myself now, so everybody, please get ready with your questions, that I find it very hard to focus, even if I think that I'm focusing on work. And then being a professional musician, I go like, oh, everyone's just asking me to sing the national anthem now because I'm in the Chamber of Commerce. And I don't know any other songs, not like before. I'd be studying like whole repertoire or when I'm on tour. So when I get that shift in my life, then I find the music centering and you do like hiking and meditation. So how would you advise someone who tries to find something that's centered?
I think the biggest myth that everyone says about entrepreneurs is that entrepreneurs are like ADHD, right? Entrepreneurs are distracted, all right? I believe that you practice distraction.
Practice distraction.
Kobe Bryant, when he was alive, Magic Johnson, I mean, they practice their three shot, right? They practice their game. You need to practice focus. You have to practice focus. You have to embody focus. And that's why I do it. And I believe that it's energy, not time, that's a predictor of high performance. Energy. So every single thing that I do, you know, and then it's even an intention, right? And the intention is the spark of your goals and your dreams. And then for me, even before, like I take a whole bunch of supplements and spirulina and vitamin D, ashwagandha. But even before I take my supplements, I take a look at it and I'm like, okay, vitamin D. Why am I taking vitamin D? I want vitamin D so that I can get the proper nutrients for my body. I'm trying to care for my body. I'm not just shoving it in because that also is useless. because it's both of that. It's the act in the real world and also your intention around it. So why am I taking spirulina? Because my mom told me that it helps control all the radicals in your the free radicals in your body. So I'm doing it for a reason. Why do I take lion's meat? It's for advanced memory. I do it for a reason. I'm not doing it just because I saw a TikTok video saying like magnesium now is like really good for like sleep. Like I really have to really understand it. And why do I go to silent retreats and silent meditation? Because it's a practice. I want to learn how to be able to control my thoughts. So if something happens, right? So I hired someone last week, a designer, who I told her, okay, there's going to be multiple things that you have to do as a designer. You have to do photo shoots, you have to do social media, you have to, communicate with a client. And then after 2 weeks of work, after 3 weeks after work, after I trained her, the majority of the time was me training her, right? And then on the day that she was actually had to work, she said, oh, I don't want to do photo shoots. Photo shoots are the most fun part of it, like you're the designer. And she was just like, all I want to do is sit and design behind a computer. And I just said, and I was thinking to myself, like, I was so mad because I have no time. Like, I do have time, but then I realized myself, right? You're checking yourself and see like, oh, you're getting mad. Like you're getting mad. Then well, I don't want to be mad. Like, why do I have someone renting space in my brain? I don't want that. And so it's just like, let's just let it go and just like take all that energy and focus in on finding someone else. And because then the monkey mind thoughts come in. You're just like, oh, I'm gonna make the same mistake again. Everyone's useless. All those things. Right? There's not enough people to be able to do all the work that we have. But once you realize that you're actually thinking those weird thoughts that aren't part of your value system, you can stop. Name it, right, to claim it.
Wonderful. Name it to claim it. Do we have any questions over there?
Hi, I have a question. Actually, you answered it a little bit, because that's my next question. I've been trying to practice that, but I keep on failing. And there's always like an excuse, and it's not me, it's the other person. So it's easy to say, you have to do this, you have to do that. But the main question is the hardest thing to do is to start. And how are you going to start? How are you going to do it? Like, for example, okay, you have to meditate. Okay, that's a good idea. Like, how do you meditate? And then everybody would say, this is the truth. This is reality. Everybody would say, oh, you just meditate. Oh, I do it. But the reality of it is, they just close their eyes and actually they're not meditating because there's a lot of stuff in here. After the meditation act, they're still not clear. They're still not clear in whatever they have to focus on. So how?
So meditation, I think the biggest misconception is that when you meditate, you're stopping your thoughts, right? Thoughts are part of who we are. When we meditate, does our heart stop? No. Does our breath stop? No. Our thoughts will continue, but what you're doing is you're observing your thoughts. That's what mindfulness is the ability to observe something non-judgmentally. Not like, oh my God, I'm supposed to be meditating and I'm useless. I'm not doing it right. Okay. Oh wow. There's a lot of thoughts going on in my head. I'm thinking about what I need to eat tonight. I'm thinking about my grocery list. I'm thinking I have to pick up my kid. Right? Oh, that's funny. I don't have to. It's observing the thoughts.
Yes, and that's a wonderful segue actually, because Dr. Fatima is also mindfulness coach, and I know she has at least 2 cents to put into, if you don't mind. So, what can you advise her?
Thank you for your question.
This one doesn't have.
Sorry, trade off.
Can you come up here?
Oh, it's okay, I can stay. Thank you. Thank you for your question, because you're not alone. People struggle with that because we have a certain view of what meditation should be like, which is go up in the mountains and like Kalika said, stop everything. So I would just ask you at this very moment, could you sit up straight? Just sit up straight. And could you straighten your spine? And could you close your eyes? And could you breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth? Again, breathe in and breathe out. Feel your whole body. You will have thoughts, but let them come like clouds in the sky. Just be fully present with your body. Feel your tension points. Feel we're stiff. And as you breathe in, breathe in fresh, pure energy. And as you breathe out, release the tension. Again, breathe in, pure, fresh energy. Feel that body part where you feel tense, and breathe out. Breathing in, breathing out. And stay there. Whatever thoughts come, let them come and let them go. Just be with your body. Now very slowly open your eyes.
Thank you, Dr. Fatima.
I do also want to just tell you, this whole meditation thing, I believe meditation is a keystone habit, a habit that leads to better habits. So when I was doing my entrepreneur's master's program at MIT, there was one exercise that they asked us to do. Just do one thing for the year. And the one I chose was meditation. Because with meditation comes better sleep. With better sleep comes better decision making. With better decision making, you make less mistakes. With less mistakes, you have more time. And so I said, I'm going to just do it. And literally for 6 months, I did it. I went to meditation classes. I got trained. I had to get trained in transcendental meditation twice because I thought I failed. I'm just like, I can't do it. After 6 months, I had about 10 seconds of like this peace. And I was like, what is that? Like, whoa. Like, and that 10 seconds of whatever that, like me going to every class, going to apps, like going to my friend Sam Harris has an app called Waking Up. There's a 50-day course. Like I did that 50 days. I went to unplugged meditation. I mean, I took a UCLA course. I'm actually getting trained for mindfulness as well at UCLA, and I just did it because after looking at all the science and seeing that it works, and as an entrepreneur that's busy with 2 daughters, a husband, like it's crucial that you do it every day. It's crucial. It's crucial.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
it's simple but not easy.
Yes, because I keep failing at it. When our eyes are closed, I'm going like, where is my purse?
Oh my gosh.
I know.
But at least you observe that.
Or yeah.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Okay, good. So I think Aldia has a question.
Yes, I have a question because I always encounter it. I mean, I encounter it not only me, but of course, for sure, 100% with all the Filipinos. So I'm literally wants to know the crab mentality of the Filipino, which right now that I'm starting to focus on my skincare. So many friends of mine, they're getting jealous and um, they're trying to, like to say something about me behind my back, and I just don't know what like
How do you handle
how
it?
to handle them. For some reason, I don't really speak to them, most of them, because I prefer. I mean, I would be like more in peace, more than to stress out myself with all of this network people.
The first step is joining the chamber because there's no people. But maybe Kalika and Dr. Fatima can say something. So maybe Kalika.
Life, whether or not it's people who are jealous, life has inevitable challenges. Right? How do you get beyond life's inevitable challenges? Right? You first need to know who you are. Right? So understanding your life's intention. First your standards of integrity. So these are my standards of integrity. I'm inspiring, I'm kind, I am patient, I'm trustworthy, I am healthy, I'm wealthy. I know who I am. I know who I am. The second one is knowing your life's intentions. One of my life's intentions is to be a loving friend, a loving family member, a creator of beauty, that's why I'm branding, a successful entrepreneur, to be financially fit, to be physically healthy, to be a change maker. I know who I am. And that's where you put your energy. That's where you put your energy. You put it into your values and also realize, right, you need to have deep looking. Is this really happening? Or are you making it up in your head, right? Because lots of monkey mind is happening, right? There's excuses, there's rationalization, there's like justification, there's scarcity mentality, there's paranoia. I'm not saying that you're paranoid, but I'll give you an example. If you take a look at a pen, you have a pen? Right, a pen, right? To you, a pen, right? A pen. Here's a pen, right? Humans, it's a pen, right? If I put it on the floor, my dog Mochi, it's gonna be a toy, right? You gotta look at life holistically. You're so sure this is a pen. Is it really a pen? No, it's actually a toy. It could be a toy too, right? This table here, right? This table. We are so sure it's a table. But to my 2-year-old, when she was growing up, it was a playhouse. It was a playhouse. Right? Is it really a table? To us it is, but we need to be able to look holistically. And then also, this belief, is it serving you? If it's not serving you to think that possibly someone may be talking about you potentially, when I came up with my invention, the purse hook, everyone started copying it, and I was mad. I was just like, I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on my patent, and like, I have a patent, I have a world, USA world patent on this, and everyone is copying me. Was that serving me that everyone was copying me? It wasn't. So I had to shift my energy and just like continue to innovate, continue to come up. Because if I kept on saying like, well, now I have to send a CC and desist to Michael Kors and Disney and JCPenney, because everyone was infringing on my patents. But all I did was I just said, okay, my lawyer, my legal team is going to worry about that, and I'm just going to continue to be creative. Continue to be creative, continue to be you.
Yes, Dr. Fatima, anything to add to that? Yeah. Oh, this one. Would you want to come here?
Yeah, so we'll just have our speakers here now, like available for everyone. I know you've been exchanging phone numbers already because this is all so interesting. Apparently, a lot of us have a lot of issues. So.
It's part of life.
Safe zone.
So I shared with you my interview story, and when I was first here, I actually also had those really hard and painful experiences. The people that I stayed with, because I got a job at a credit union, so that's considered more like a white-collar job versus a blue-collar job, were very upset with me and were jealous. I had no idea, but they were. And because I was staying with them, they said, "Oh, you got to leave now." I didn't have any place to go. Um, and then I found another, cousin of a cousin of a cousin who wanted me to marry her cousin. I said, "No, I can't do that." And the next day, they said, "Well, you got to go now." I was sick. I will never forget that. I was sick. I didn't know where to go. And you know who took me? My white coworkers. So from that moment, I said, I'm never, ever going to be with Filipino people. And I really stayed away. Honestly, the first Filipino group that I belong to is GLA. I'm serious. Because I met Lois, and she's so persistent. So that's many, many years, because I arrived in this country in 1970. I met Lois in 2019. I associated with none other than Filipinos because I had such a painful, painful experience. However, what helped me in, Kalika mentioned many of those steps. What helped me was my dissertation. My dissertation was the impact of colonialism on Filipino American women in the workplace. That was my story. And when I was doing research, I began to understand what a colonial mind is. And we have that, sadly, even though many are already in this fourth or fifth generation, that DNA of being a colonized country still runs in our veins. And
Up until now.
Yeah, up until now, and we are still working
Meaning,
towards.
we don't have to.
We don't have to. But we just have to understand, is what I'd like to say, is we have to understand where they're coming from and have compassion for that, and then say, but that is not me. That is not me, and that is not who I am. And then this way we don't get hooked into that kind of negative energy, really. So for me, it is that. And I recognize it so quickly. I recognize it in myself. So we have to create, what we're sharing with you, create who we are and who we want to be. And we have that opportunity to do that.
Thank you. So one last question.
Hi,
Bye.
Ms. Kalita, I have a question. From the beginning of your speech, we talked about success. And I think all of us women here, we all want to be successful, right? As an entrepreneur and as a person. And you talk about focus. So focus and success comes together, correct? But
We have clarity.
yeah, but we are living in a rat race, and we tend to go with a rat race, and we tend to multitask, and we tend to do all these things. And knowing that you became a very successful entrepreneur, as a matter of fact, I think a conglomerate, because you mentioned about all these other businesses. Perhaps you can share with us, how did you do it?
I think that there's a difference between power and force. There's a great book by David R. Hawkins called Power versus Force. There's two different energies that are happening in this world, right? One that is competition in the bad way, because the Latin word of competition actually is from the word competere, which means strive together. But people have taken that word and made it something else, right? Rat race is a metaphor. Trigger is a metaphor. Boundaries are a metaphor. We don't have to use those metaphors. We don't. It's a choice. Why do we have to use those words? We don't. You don't have to say it's a rat race. It doesn't have to be a rat race. And there's a difference. I think I did this Instagram video on it, in receiving and in grasping. Most people are grasping. What can I get for myself? I'm in it for me, but no, what if you just, realize that we're always receiving and coming from a place of gratitude. I think that will just make a huge difference. When COVID hit, I had already, I was traveling telling what the first thing that I did was I got on my knees and I thanked everything that I had in my life. I was happy that I had a house, clean water, electricity, high-speed internet, a laptop. Like I just started naming things like that because I was just like, what do you mean I can't do anything? What do you mean I'm quarantined? Like what do you mean? Like that's the first thing I did. I would start with gratitude. Gratitude. We are so entitled. Like we have so much in this world. There is like a working bathroom. Like when I was visiting China, I'm just like, they have it in a pool. Like in like some remote places, I'm just like, we have working bathrooms here. We have air conditioning. There's so much to be grateful for. That's where you start. You start with that expansiveness of just like overwhelming gratitude for everything that you have. Everything.
Thank you so much for our speakers, and we have one last comment from our only non-female. No. Go ahead,
My name
Ernie.
is Ernie, and I'm so proud to be in the presence of very powerful. Okay, I have a comment. It's a very positive comment because we have to remember where we all came from. And I'm talking not just about the Filipino woman or the Filipino mother, but the Asian woman in general. Look back at your lives when you were in the Philippines. The bedrock of the Filipino or Asian family is the woman. Okay? Dad goes to work, maybe in a government office or let's say in a private company. He's making enough money on a monthly salary, but it's not enough to complete the budget. Who completes the budget in the Filipino family? The mom. What does she do? Okay? She sells banana Q. She makes chicharon at home and sells it in some kind of a neighborhood sale. Okay? She works in a government office. She buys and sells tela or clothes or t-shirts to supplement the income. And then on top of that, she takes care of the children, she cooks the meal for dinner, and then she tutors her own children. So who is the bedrock? Okay, I'm a guy. I'd like to say it's the guy. But if you look at all your families, the one who closes the deal is the woman of the home. Am I not right?
Yes.
And also not only in our colonial Filipino family, but in other Asian societies as well. San Kim, am I not right? Huh? They make kimchi and then they sell it in the office. I'm serious. Okay? And so we have to remember that, I'm in the presence of awesome CEOs and all that. But if you go to the beginning, it's our mothers who close the deal. So let's remember that, and that's the way we can all move forward.
Thank you for that.
And thank you again to our speakers. Ms. Kalikaya, thank you so much. Thank you. And of course, Dr. Fatima. Thank you. And we have a closing comment from our president.
Thank you to our past president, Annie, and thank you again to our speakers, Dr. Fatima and Miss Kalika Yap. That was so awesome. And, to kind of piggyback on your mother, I brought my mother here. Mommy Eva, absolutely. She taught me how to be patient, to be kind, to be hardworking. So cheers to our mothers. And, it's like branding and financial abundance is very, very important for, there you go, it's being recorded for the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce. And, to what Kalika said, her calling is to have more $1 million Filipino Americans community, women. So for me, that's a start. So for me, I got to the chamber because I've been doing financial analysis, credit analysis for the longest time. And I always see Korean businesses, Persian, everybody. And I saw $1 million, more than $1 million business, Filipino American. And I almost jumped out of my seat. And I'm like, oh my God, there's a $1 million business that's owned by Filipino American. I'm like, why is there only one of all of this? And of course, it's home health. It's like, I gotta connect with my people. I need to let them know how to be bankable. I need to let them know this is the right path to abundance. So I got that passion. That was my personal passion. And yes, to the sleep. Everyone know here in the chamber that I sleep early because it helps me function. It helps me prioritize. I always have this, okay, what's my top priority? And then I kind of put this in, so I'm not in that rat race. I'm like so busy, but it's like, which one is more important really at the end of the day? Myself, my family, and then my work, and then the chamber. I always like it's in the slots. And then Dr. Fatima, yes, I met her, and she is an absolute gem to this chamber. Like, we established a lot of processes. And then I'm thankful, to have her here, and Kalika, and all of you. And my heart is so full because, being in leadership, it's not very easy. The monkey mind that you're mentioning, I get that. And I always like, Lois, you know who you are. There are these people who may not agree with you, but it's fine. But you just do your thing and everything will be okay. And I'm fine with that. So thank you again. May this be an empowering tea and women empowerment event for you all. So I just wanted to hand this off to Celeste for the next part of our program.
We're taking a shortcut because we're gonna get kicked out. We're having so much fun. Are you guys having so much fun? Did you get something of value in this afternoon? Right? It's amazing to be among sisters. Right? So let me do us a favor by calling somebody who really supports women empowerment, who brought in a lot of prizes to do a raffle drawing. You like that? You want to win something? We're all winners here, so cross your fingers, give me a number. 5. In your list of attendees, who is number 5?
Number 5 is Connie Mapule.
Miss Connie Mapule will be receiving this bun cake. Wow! Nothing but bun cake. I'm not really bun cake.
That's not enough for all of us.
What's the next one? Another bun cake. And can you please give me a number, Miss Lewis?
13.
13. Who's number 13?
We have
Hurry up.
Fatima Buster.
Dr. Fatima, who's this now we're gonna settle this up. We have nothing but bun cake. What is it? A box.
Oh my God.
A box. Who wants this? Can you please give me a number? From 1 to 26. Number 8.
Number 8, you have Ellen's ring.
Ellen, all the way from Cerrito, Director of Finance for the Coalition of American Chamber of Commerce. And the guy that keeps on giving. Number, please, Miss Annie Nepomuceno.
12.
Number 12 is...
Number 12. Eva.
Who?
Eva.
And then, of course, Monroe's Business Solution will be giving away a free 80 hours virtual assistant services. 80.
Oh my God.
80. That's 10 days. That's 10 business days of a virtual assistant services for free. So you can ask them to do your flyer, clean your email, your mailbox, whatever. But any general virtual assistant services for 10 days. May I ask, please, for a number?
2.
Number 2 is...
Number 2 is no other than Roxanne Annie Nepomuceno.
Yes.
I need that for my show, Gary Valenciano, October 9.
Congratulations, Miss Annie. Thank you so much. So once again, I'd like to invite you all to continuously support each other. I hope your connection doesn't stop here. we will be sending out a list of everybody who attended, right, through your email. So watch out for that. Don't feel free to connect. Also, I'd like to personally invite everyone to continuously support the upcoming events that the chamber have. One being upcoming is on September 12th, which is our very first golf tournament.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, August,
I don't know
September
anything.
12th.
Yes, September 12th
The Porter Valley.
at the Porter Valley Country Club. Okay, I don't know anything about golf, but maybe you can join us there too. There will be yes, of course. Networking, golf. Just watch out for more details. We'll be sending out more details on that. On October 10th, Annie Nepomucelo's October 9th, yes.
The reason why we're talking about it is not just because it's my show, but because no, because as being members of the chamber, I always this is the reason why I joined the chamber because I want the businesses to have a connection to people who have events like this. I am a musician and a concert producer because I have to help myself. But the thing is, you have a discount if you are a member of a chamber. If you want to become a cash sponsor, you will be entitled to a discount. This is exclusive to the chamber. And also, if you're going to buy tickets, there is a code FACCGLA, which members can use when you purchase your tickets at the box office. But we have some of our agents here. We have, of course, Rose Laksamana there, Connie Mapue, and David Baines can help you with your tickets. So chamber members, there are benefits to becoming a chamber member. Thank you, and I am so proud that I am a member of the chamber. Thank you.
Danny, and also the entrepreneurial boot camp. Please keep an eye on that. It's an ongoing workshop on entrepreneurship in partnership with National ACE. So National ACE is funding us for that in partnership also with Grow with Google and some of other community partners.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
That will be every Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And I know your calendars are full, but we have so much to offer with the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce. So if you are not a member of FACCGLA, we are inviting you to please join us to be that force to elevate, empower, and engage the Filipino American business community. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of the evening. We forgot something?
Picture taking?
Oh, picture taking. Okay, so what do you want me to tell them? Take a picture of yourself. No, that's not what you want. So, what do you want us to stand, Mr. President? No. Do you want to, yeah.
Miss Fatima, yes.
Where, I think
Why the band?
yeah.
I think, well, that's a beautiful background, the team.
Yeah,